Um, Last week, I had the honor of hosting what was about 19 or 20 leaders in Grand Junction. And we were there, to celebrate the wins of 2021 and where we really moved the needle, and then also just sort of learn and commit to what the following year is going to look like. And we started every morning with some activity, and when I say morning, I mean before the sun came up, right? So one day we did a hike. It was quote unquote a sunrise hike. I probably misspoke. We never saw the sun rise because it was headlamps and stocking caps and puffy coats because it was cold. And one morning we did yoga. It was great yoga. And one morning we did next level performance, and we had a coach, and I think Carrie's got some photos that she's gonna share with you guys here. But there were some lessons there that I thought maybe I would just sort of share with you as I watched all of that. I think the first lesson that I learned from that, or maybe was reminded of that, was to win early. There's just something about getting up early, eat the frog, as they say, right? I think it was Jimmy who said, it's victory. We've already had our first victory of the day, and the sun's not even up. I thought that was really, really powerful, and it sets the stage for the rest of the day and week and life, for that matter. It ultimately comes down to what are we willing to commit to doing. And so that was my second one. It was interesting to watch how I think it's easy to not do something that we've committed to if we're the only ones that we've committed to do it. And the minute you commit to a group of people, suddenly the stakes are higher, the accountability is higher, and so you do just about anything you can to get there. So that was the lesson number 2: is commit with others. And the third one was a reminder of, in every room there's a rabbit, and you either have to find out who the rabbit is, or you have to be the rabbit. Say that again. You need to look around and find the rabbit, or you need to become the rabbit. And when I see that sort of roll out in each of the things that we did, so there's one person that's better at yoga than the other person. There's somebody that's better at hiking than the other person. There's always somebody. What I thought was really, really cool was that it wasn't generally the same person. And there were two sort of different pathways. If you didn't find a rabbit and you weren't really focused on that, what you would end up doing is you would end up sort of, in the group, right? There was no striving to do better. It was just, we're just out for a leisurely stroll and we're having a conversation. But the minute that somebody identified that there was a rabbit, there was a competitive nature. There was hey, I can do more. I can do a little bit better. And it leveled up the effort that was going into it. And so the thing that there's a moment where you're on a hike and everybody can talk. And then there's a moment when you're on a hike and you can't talk, right? That's the exercise. Like, that's leveling up when you're hiking and you can't speak because you're gassed. And it comes down to the rabbit. So I thought that was awesome. I think that the fourth one for me was to watch and realize that we just generally are more capable than we think we are. There's a fear factor, I think, when it comes to fitness. We can do the thing that we've always done. The problem, there's just a saying about that, right? You do the thing that you've always done and you'll get exactly the same results that you've always got. And I think it's Bedros Keuilian that does this thing with every 6 weeks, he does something totally different. Like, I think this way I'm going to take boxing up. I don't know. I think, this week I'm going to paddleboard, whatever it is, but he continually puts himself in some different areas. I think the lesson there that I watched with the leadership summit was that as people put themselves into scenarios that, maybe they didn't do yoga, and then all of a sudden they surprised themselves. They thought, wow, I did really well at that. It was much better. It wasn't nearly as scary. It creates this sort of pathway in their life that new things are no longer as scary as they used to be. But I was really taken at how well people did at the different pieces. I think it was. I watched Ryan Brown, young Ryan, excuse me, sprinting the last 150 yards of the hike in the dark, and so it was awesome. That was really cool. And I think number 5 for me was just, we all have excuses, that, and there's not one person. I've never met anybody that didn't have an excuse. We just all have them. It's sort of, to me, it's sort of the definition of courage, right? What they say is, courage isn't not being scared. Courage is being scared, but doing the thing anyway, right? And sort of when we talk about fitness, we all have excuses. Every single one of us. I don't want to get up that early. It's cold outside. I'm sleepy. I'm not motivated. I got a little thing on my back, or I got a little injury, or whatever. Right? We all have the excuses. It was really, really cool to watch some of the folks in our leadership summit do it anyway. Right? There's always a way to be active. There's always a way to take care of your fitness, and we all have the excuses, and really taking care of your fitness is understanding that we all have the excuses, but doing it anyway. So Carrie, I don't know if you could pull up those photos, but I'm just going to very quickly give you guys a snapshot of some of the stuff that was going on. So this was hot-ish yoga, but it was 104 degrees at Half Moon Yoga. And again, many of these folks have never, ever done it, right? This is at Mesa Fitness. This is our next level performance. What I really loved about this, number one, it was the cheering of each other and the leveling each other up. I think people were surprised at how much they were capable of. And remember, folks, sometimes we need a coach, right? So we hired somebody to come in and push us to the next level. I don't know if we're going to see any of those videos. There he is. There's our coach. That's Mark, and he's giving us the rundown and telling us just how gnarly this is going to be. I love it. Here we go. Keep going. All right.
Talk to me, T.
Determined!
There we go.
Switch. Listen to that bell.
Now look at, is he wearing a boot? So we talk about excuses, right? But that guy's wearing a boot. If there was anybody that had an excuse to not be there and to not to do the work, it was him. And yet he figured out a way to gut it out. And I think that is the highest form of integrity and commitment. So,
JK, what do leaders do? Oh, Kira's wishing she was in yoga. All right, young Ryan, what do leaders do?
Really comfortable with being uncomfortable. Committed.
Committed. I love pain.
Reward!
That's it. This is where the magic happens, right here. Let's go, baby.
I hope that helps you all. Again, super proud of your leaders and the folks that attended the summit. There is a reason that they are so passionate. It's because of you. And I think when it comes to, we all know you can't have true wealth without health. And so we spend our time on Fridays ensuring that each and every one of you get a little dose of maybe some motivation, a little education. When it really comes down to it, you can do it, even if it's the smallest amount. Encourage you to win early, commit, get an accountability partner, find a rabbit. That if you have to pay for a rabbit, i.e. a coach, go do it. Understand that you are more capable than you think. And number 5, we all have excuses. It's getting ourselves to do it anyway is where the magic happens. So as always, be distinctive, y'all.